It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome to 2K Sports, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith. We'll watch the Charlotte Hornets in this one as they go up against the Hawks in Atlanta. Looking at the Hawks, they split the season series against these guys last season, 2 games apiece. Should be a good one tonight. Well, last season the Hawks won a lot of games with how well they were able to create on offense. So deadly at times with their ability to set each other up. Kenny, would you consider them the best team in terms of assists and passing the ball?
I would say I would say Golden State was way up there, obviously winning an NBA championship, but they were second in the league last year in assists per game, first in the East, and their entire team depends on each other. One guy's out, it really affects everything, and they're best off that catch and shoot than any team possibly other than Golden State.
You know, a lot of time we compare them.
Welcome, everyone, to this 2K Sports broadcast live in Atlanta, Georgia, at the Phillips Arena. Last outing for Atlanta, they won that game against the Knicks in New York.
And if you look at the numbers, guys, I mean, what jumps out at you is the balance they had offensively.
Very satisfying road win because you're right. There was tremendous balance displayed. I mean, the crowd was basically stunned at how they were able to dismantle that defense.
So the Hornets win the tip. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. On the court for Charlotte, Hill is out there with Chris Middleton. Then it's Bargnani. Then it's Wiggins. And it's Adams in at the 5 down low. Now here is Hill. Shot clock at 6. Middleton for 3. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist. Middleton's got the opening field goal of the game for the Hornets.
And, guys, you hear about how the Hawks are the jokingly referred to as the Spurs of the East. It has to do with their coach, Mike Budenholzer, who's really brought that philosophy here to Atlanta.
That is good. Hill with it. He's coming off a 19-point game against Miami, and he jams it with authority.
Solid work on the back end of that play.
Yeah, finished hard with 2 hands on the stuff.
Yeah, nothing extravagant, guys, but, again, no need on that one.
Now here's Beal, and here's Anderson from the arc. Hill pulls it in. Now go to Doris Burke, who had a chance to talk with head coach Steve Clifford.
He said Chris Paul is a major concern for them because of his ability to lead a team. He said it all starts with Paul because once he gets going and gets everyone involved, the whole team becomes a well-oiled machine. That is something we're definitely worried about.
And thank you, Doris. No good from Bargnani.
Major defensive lapse right there. I mean, he's not a player you can leave open for a jump shot. You've got to stay attached to him. They're lucky he couldn't punish them for it.
And Parsons gets it to go.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
The Hornets have gone 2 or 3 here to start off the game. Bargnani is screen on Paul. Hill passes to Bargnani. Misses the layup.
Oh, you've got to be able to deliver when you get a bunny like that. That's just too easy of a shot to miss.
Down low. And he uses the glass on the layup.
It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
And that's because the ball is looking for the best shot, and it's really paid off for them during the run.
And so it's Charlotte with it after the basket by Atlanta. Wiggins, good, and it's Hill picking up the assist.
Well, that's one way he can finish, but far from the only way he gets it done. He's got all kinds of tricks up his sleeve. You know, I can think of one way to describe George Hill. It's the culmination of several attributes. I mean, he comes from the school of Popovich, plays under control, always in the right place defensively. The way I describe him is just steady.
And it's blocked by Adams. Hornets trail by 3. Middleton dishes to Hill. Middleton drives in. Beal with the steal. Parsons right side. Feeds it to Beal. Here's Marjanovic. Adams defending. Pass to Hill. Lead pass was put in just. the right spot. An interesting thing about George Hill, he was traded from the Spurs to the Pacers a few years back. Many people were surprised the Spurs would even trade a valuable veteran when they were trying to win a championship. But who did they trade him for? Kawhi Leonard. A pretty good deal.
Well, you know, Hill is really solid. He knocks down open shots, can run the offense or play off the ball equally well. I think he's a terrific combo guard. Gives you a little bit of everything and does it in a professional way. And that's typically what attracts him to other teams. Well, I tell you what, the post play has been rock solid right off the bat.
It really has, and they've created a lot of high percentage shots in the paint here already.
Now here's Beal to the wing right side. A shot by Paul. Nobody around. Misses the three. Charlotte in the lead. Great offensive performance they're putting on.
You see the benefit of knocking down baskets consecutively because it leads to the confidence growing and growing.
And guys, we call that the zone because that's where they are right now. They are in a zone, and I'm sure they feel unstoppable.
And Atlanta calls their first time out of the game.
And boy, how good was Chris Middleton last season? I mean, always a deep shooter who could stretch the floor. He hits the weight room in the offseason and became a much stronger defender. Now he's one of the more promising 3-and-D guys in the league.
Teams changing it up here. The Hawks trail by 3. And for Chris Middleton last season, he went up in points, assists, rebounds, but went down in turnovers.
Boy, what an improvement for this young man. A late bloomer. I liked him when he was at Texas A&M, still growing into his body, playing with great confidence, and he can spray that thing from 3. I like his promise.
Certainly the biggest surprise last year, Clark, was the play of the Atlanta Hawks. You would have picked them to win the East at the start of the season.
Well, they did it, and they earned it. The Hawks didn't have any superstars on their roster, but they won with solid team play.
Here's Wirtz. Jang with a screen on Lin. Wirtz passes to Dang, and stolen by Spates, and stolen by Jang. Nice pass in here by Charlotte. Wiggins against Parsons, and it's Wiggins missing.
And for the Hawks, they did end up with 4 All-Stars last season. As you said, it was all about how they worked together as a team.
Did not need 2 hands for that slam.
You know, he can save the other hand for the next time.
One will do just fine.
Yeah, but just to switch it up a little bit.
Here's Wirtz. On the wing, Wiggins. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. It goes on Chandler Parsons.
And you know, around the NBA, the league recognized the Hawks were a complete team. Everybody played their role superbly. The NBA named all 5 of their starters the player of the week last year in an unprecedented move.
Well, Andrew Wiggins showed that he's going to be a big-time player in this league, Clark, for a long time.
And we knew Wiggins could attack the basket and create his own shot, Kevin, but I think many, and I'm included in this, were surprised at how good his jumper looks this early in his career. I mean, it's pretty reliable right now.
Dishes it to Cram. Charlotte no good that time either. Here's Lin. That's good.
And the lead goes right back. What a seesaw affair we've got going on.
This game's right there for the taking, but neither team can quite grab hold of it. Like a slippery bar of soap there. Somebody's got to take charge here. Well, there was no hand in his face right there. I thought for sure he was going to knock that down.
The first quarter all wrapped up, and it's been an exciting game so far. It's Atlanta leading by a point. Let's take a quick break now, and then it's on to the second quarter after this. And moment now to hear from Steven Adams as he reflects back on a life growing up as the youngest of 18 children back in New Zealand.
So, like, the youngest over there has to do everything, like all chores, pretty much 18 years of being rookie. That's pretty much all it is, and people just beat you up for no reason.
Hard to imagine growing up in such a huge family, but it sounds like maybe it prepared him for life in the NBA.
Yeah, got him outside of himself and toughened him up a little bit. No question about that. Wow, 18, that's mine. Yeah.
And off we go, a close game now starting the second quarter. And for the Hawks guys, what stands out to you stats-wise?
Just the way they've been able to pound that backboard. I think that's been the difference.
Establishment of a good low post presence, a big part of the success.
Bradley Beal is out there with Anderson. Then there's Lewis Williams. Then it's Chris Paul. And it's Spates in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. So that's the Hawks 5.
I like the fact that he led his teammate right to the ideal spot. You don't always throw it to your teammate. You throw it to where he needs to be.
The drive by Paul. Good. And the Hawks lead by 3.
What a great play. Totally schooled the defender on that one.
Charlotte shooting a smooth 58% from the field. Everything going according to plan for them on that end. Hill kicks to Zhang. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist. Hill's got 5 assists in the game.
And Steve Clifford might not be the most famous coach in the NBA, but he has plenty of experience, and everyone in the league knows exactly how well-versed he is as a coach.
Now here's Anderson. Shoots in Atlanta again with the bucket.
They've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball into the paint.
Clearly, they've been the aggressors thus far when it comes to attacking the interior in this first half.
That one's in there. The Hawks lead is cut to just 1 on the basket from Adams. And Clifford in his 3rd year now as a head coach, Greg. That experience you were just talking about. He has 29 years of coaching under his belt. And he's a Van Gundy disciple. Clark was on the coaching staff for both brothers.
Yeah, and he's been with a lot of teams, Kevin. 13 seasons as an assistant for the Lakers, Rockets, Magic, and Knicks.
And the Hornets with possession here. Following the shot by Chris Paul. Pass to Middleton. He dishes it to Zhang. 5 to shoot. The feed now to Crab. From outside the arc. And that one's good.
Oh, and their offense scorching now. Red hot. They've really turned it on.
I just don't know if you can play any better offensively, making it look easy out there.
And once again off the mark by Atlanta.
As a player, you always want to be able to answer back, but he just didn't have it in him that time.
Middleton drives in.
Clearly a foul.
Yeah, he took a shot there, earned those free throws.
And a look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Hornets.
Fellas, they're passing the ball the way you're supposed to here in this first half.
Something else they've been able to do so far tonight is earn those tough points in the paint.
Charlotte making a switch here. Bargnani's checked in. You look at Gorgui Dieng and his development in the league out of Louisville. What a big jump for him last season.
And that's a great point. That first year, you could tell the game was a little too fast, and he was a bit overwhelmed, but started to get more and more minutes throughout the season and really blossomed with the extra opportunity.
Hornets leading by 4. And there's the pass to Crab. Hill against Paul. And that's out of bounds. Charlotte will retain possession. And while we can, here's a look at the teams that had the fastest hands in the league last season. Number 5, the Hawks.
You could tell by watching them how much they enjoyed playing defense. They seem to have an endless reserve of energy flying around and pressuring the basketball.
Three minutes of action so far in the second quarter. And the shot is good. Bargnani's got his second basket.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync, tremendous communication and awareness.
Nice work on the inside. Hard to get that one up and over the big fella.
Well, it's not supposed to be easy down there, and a little artistry on the inside helped him make it happen.
Now here is Hill. Middleton outside. 5 to shoot. Puts it up from 17. Here's Adams. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
Yeah, good job to take it right at the D.
Yeah, really left him no choice there, Greg. I mean, he had to foul and keep him from converting the easy bucket.
Kiwi Steven Adams, one of the toughest players down on the block.
And Kevin Adams is not afraid to get under somebody's skin. He's pretty strong defensively, too.
Shooting two. Shooting two.
And the first one drops.
And, you know, guys, that's one of the things I like about Adams. I mean, he'll draw the ire of opposing players just because of how he approaches the game.
Here's what Atlanta's going with right now. Scotty's checked in for Anderson. Chandler Parsons comes in for Beal. And it's Jeremy Lin in for Paul. Now here is Augustine. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Parsons for 3. Right side Lin. Hawks passing it around. Here's Wiggins. Plays it up and banks it in. Wiggins has got 8.
Superb assist there. He played the role of the maestro on that one.
The Hawks trail by 8.
Yeah, and guys, Adams doesn't want to be known as a dirty player. I mean, I think he feels he plays aggressive and he hustles, and that sometimes rubs players the wrong way.
For Charlotte, they've gotten all but one of their 7 shots in the second quarter to drop. Pretty impressive. Pass to Wiggins. Fires the 3. Atlanta with the rebound. 1:20 left here in the second. Lets the 3 fly. Wiggins with the rebound. Hornets leading by 6. No one near him. Offensive rebound. Here's Adams. Score it. His 3rd straight basket in 3 tries.
And that put back about as easy a bucket as you're going to get.
Exactly what happens when you don't box out, Greg.
Yeah, saw some things that just weren't working for them and wants to make some adjustments.
Yeah, and no reason to wait around to do that, Greg. I mean, might as well make those adjustments right away.
Now here is Augustine. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. On the wing, Wiggins. Again, Wiggins missing.
No doubt it's been a bit of a struggle for him here in this quarter in terms of scoring.
Lin with it. Now defended by Wiggins. Nobody near Parsons. The basket good off the assist from Lin. And it's 8 points for Chandler Parsons. Charlotte has gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. Wiggins dishes to Adams. On the wing, Wiggins, defended by Lin, passes it to Huertas. There's the triple. Rebounded by the Hawks. Parsons got 4 rebounds now tonight. Outside, Lin. Shoots it up. And released it in time. And the first half.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Ernie John, the first quarter for the Hornets was fairly even. The biggest lead of the quarter was only 3 points as they traded back. And that'll do it for now as the second half of our game is about to...
Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far.
Strong game for Wiggins. He has 8 points and 1 steal as well.
Tipping off the second half. Here's Steve Clifford's 5. Adams is out there with Bargnani. Then it's Andrew Wiggins. Then it's Chris Middleton. And it's Hill in at the point guard position.
What are they thinking leaving him with all that space out there? Do they not know? Have they not heard that this guy is unbelievable? That's a layup for him.
The shot by Middleton wide open. But they'll get another chance. Hill against Paul. Hill passes to Adams. And even after 2 offensive rebounds, they just can't get the lid off. After making it to the playoffs in 2014, the Hornets couldn't repeat the feat in 2015. A slow start probably, Greg, more than anything else did him in.
Really disappointing season coming in with such high expectations, and 33 and 49 just not good enough to get into the playoffs in any season.
The drive by Paul. That's good. Paul's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
And that's his style right there. That's his game. He plays it as well as anyone. And when we get to crunch time, that's when he's at his best. If you look at Chris Paul, you're looking at a guy who really is the standard bearer of point guards. I mean, he can pass, he can score, he plays great defense. He also competes. But what makes him the floor general that all others are measured against, really the instincts and leadership.
And the Hornets making a change here. Zhang's checked in.
That's 1 for their first 4 to start the second half.
And Beal kicks to Anderson. Beal dishes to Paul. And they're unable to get the tying basket there. Going back to Chris Paul, if you could build a point guard from scratch, Clark, he might be the model.
Yeah, I tell you what, you could do much worse than him, that's for sure. One of the very best. 6 times he's led the NBA in steals. Just an incredible all-around player. One of the greatest team leaders, I think, in the history of the league as well.
For the last 2 seasons, he's led the league in assists, you're right. And he gets it to go.
Terrific finish to get this game all knotted up there. He is a force to be reckoned with.
Hill kicks to Middleton. Zhang with the screen for Middleton. Zhang a screen. Middleton the pass to Hill. Here's Wiggins. And good. He got the English that time as it falls. Wiggins has got 10.
Obviously a mix-up defensively on that possession.
Paul goes in. It's rebounded by Charlotte. Zhang's got 3 rebounds now in this one. And Middleton kicks to Hill from 11 feet away. That's good. Now it's a 4-point Hornets lead.
And really smart to draw his man out to the perimeter. He's giving up too much size to be effective inside.
Showed nice basketball IQ. I agree, Greg. I mean, if he finds his spot on the perimeter and doesn't force it, I think his outside shot will be hard to block no matter who's defending.
Now here's Wiggins. Bradley Beal unable to get his shot to go. Out of bounds, Atlanta takes possession. No one had more success at the foul line last season than this group of players. 5th on the list, Chris Paul.
The pressure is always there when you're at the foul line. It's you in the basket. You're all alone. But the really good free throw shooters are the ones that can knock them down at a high rate. And this guy is on that list because he was able to block out the distraction and follow his routine.
Spates checked in for the Hawks. Williams comes in for Parsons, and he gets it to go. Beal's got 5 points so far.
He's one of the best in the league at that. Even with just a tiny sliver, he always seems to find a way to get it up and in.
They retain possession, and Zhang kicks to Crabbe. Here's Wirtz, the dish to Wiggins. Beal with the steal. Here's Paul. No good off the front iron.
You know, he just hasn't looked right to me. A bit out of sorts, if you will. Something's off with his mechanics, at least as I look at it.
Crabbe, good.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
And, Greg, you know nothing makes a coach happier than selflessness on the basketball court.
And Jeremy Grant picks up the foul. That's his first foul.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
Yeah, but in this case, I think he got it right. I mean, the defender was still moving there and never really had good legal guarding position. He wasn't set.
Here's what Atlanta's going with right now. Mike Scott's checked in for Anderson, and it's Jeremy Lin in for Paul. Here's Lin. From 13 feet, it goes down. Lin's got his 2nd bucket of the night. Hornets leading by 4. Overall, a down year for the Hornets in the 2014-15 season. A big part of that was that they would struggle on the road.
Yeah, and you know they had playoff aspirations, but as you said, those aspirations derailed because of the road struggle.
Now here's Williams. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. He kicks to Beal. And the shot falls short this time. Charlotte has gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. Lets it go with a 3. Rebound by the Hawks. This their first chance this season playing Charlotte.
And two teams at vastly different ends of the standings last year, but they played each other to a draw.
Yeah, you know, they split the season series, Greg, and you look at it, was it matchups? Perhaps good fortune or luck? Tonight we'll increase the sample size by 1 game and see who comes out on top.
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist.
3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Here's Wiggins, and foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. It's going to be on Maurice Spates. For Charlotte, they have made all of their free throws so far tonight, going 6 for 6.
And as a group, they shot 75% from the line last season.
That free throw, no good. And the Hornets making a change here. And he's good on the second. The Hawks trailing. For the tie. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
And it's tied up with that one. There's 14 seconds left to play in the third. Here's Wirtz, guarded by Augustine. Augustine with the steal. For the lead, here's Lynn. That's in. Augustine with the assist. And it's 8 points here for Lynn. Guys, what a back-and-forth game this has been.
You know what? You're right. Neither side has been able to hang on to the lead for any kind of time at all.
And we're set to start the action up here in the fourth quarter. And if it's anything like the first 3, we should be in for a treat. And here is Hill. Ryan Anderson out there with Chandler Parsons. Then there's DJ Augustine. Then it's Jeremy Lin. So that's the Hawks 5. Middleton dishes to Hill. Here's Crabbe. Can't hit from the elbow. The Hawks leading. One-on-one here. Here's Parsons. And he bangs it home with one hand.
Great pass that time by DJ Augustine.
Last game for the Charlotte Hornets. It was a loss to the Heat in Miami. Bargnani is screen on Augustine. Hill passes to Crabbe. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
And what a year last year for the Hawks. And what a job they did in their division. So many people thought Washington or Miami would run away with the Southeast. But the Hawks took that division by storm.
Chris Paul, he's checked in for Augustine. For the Hawks, it was the first time they have won their division in 21 years. Hard to believe, Clark, given how often they're in the playoffs.
And, you know, the last time they won their division, it was when they were in the Central back in '94. Just another great moment for what was an incredible season for the Hawks last year.
Lynn's shot is off. Well, the Hornets shooting it pretty well, close to 50%. Middleton with it, and it's Lynn picking him up. And Middleton kicks to Hill. Lets it go with a 3. And that one's good. Guys, what a game. 8 lead changes here.
Yeah, and nobody giving up any ground either way, fella.
And don't be surprised if it comes down to the last possession.
Paul kicks to Anderson. Trying to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. Charlotte in the lead. Outside Hill. He feeds it to Bargnani. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist. Hill's got assist number 8 here in this one already.
His ball distribution tonight just as good as it gets.
Yeah, it sure has been. I mean, all you have to do is look at the numbers. There's no lying in those totals.
Paul dishes to Anderson. Back to Paul to stop the run. And yes, sir, that one drops. Paul's got it all tied up now for the Hawks.
And he's shaking off that slow start, giving them a boost here in the second.
Hill kicks to Bargnani. And the layup falls. Bargnani's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today. And guys, no doubt George Hill had it rough last season. He missed the first 28 games with that left knee injury, came back for 5, then missed another 11 games before his season got going. But you know what? He had one of his most productive years from that point on.
Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
I was able to listen in on what Mike Budenholzer had to say to his team. His message, don't even look at the score right now. We've got to make one play at a time and execute. That's how we'll take this thing home. Kevin, he's trying to keep them focused.
And getting back to George Hill, what a second half of the season he had. He tore up several key categories, Clark.
Yeah, he was bogged down by injuries early in the season. Came back to average career highs in points, rebounds, and assists, partly because he was finally treated and looked to as a go-to guy, and he thrived in that role.
Pick up by Hill. Middleton outside. Middleton with a screen for Bargnani. 6 on the shot clock. Kicks it to Middleton from past the arc. And another 3 for Charlotte.
Those are the types of shots down the stretch that win you ball games.
The Hawks trail by 3. Here's Marjanovic. He's guarded by Hill. Here's Marjanovic. The drive by Paul. 17-foot shot on the way. Takes a big high bounce and goes in. And that's 10 points here for Beal.
That's a shot he shouldn't be afraid to take more often.
That's good. And the Hornets lead by 3.
Well, they were sleeping on defense. The defense really didn't do its job. I mean, a little slow to react to the ball getting into the paint. That's costly.
And at this stage of a tight game, the tired legs really start to show. A defense becomes vulnerable if you can continue to pound it inside.
Feeds it to Anderson. And Parsons kicks to Paul. Misses the 3. Hornets leading by 3. Middleton outside. Beal against Hill. For 3, Middleton. No good.
Look at the big fella working on that possession. He knows how to thin guys off and get those rebounds.
A 3 from Anderson. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. Paul's got 5 assists in the game. And the Hornets call time here.
Yeah, maybe a change of the game plan right now. Looking at some different sets because of the matchups.
Yeah, I agree with you because they're looking to tweak things to maybe get those matchups working in their favor.
Andrew Wiggins is checked in for the Hornets. Outside Hill. Here's Bargnani. No luck. And Atlanta will come the other way. To take the lead. Paul can't get that one to fall. Charlotte has gone 2 or 3 in the 4th quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. This is to Hill. Stolen by Anderson. Oh, and a fast break for Atlanta. And stolen by Jang. Wiggins passes to Hill. He feeds it to Bargnani. Stolen by Anderson. And now Parsons pushing it up. No one had to stop him.
Oh, that's the shot of the game.
Well, he was fearless enough to get it up and down, and it paid off for him.
And the Hornets call time here. They're down by 2. 51 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. .51 seconds left in the fourth. Bargnani. Atlanta with the rebound.
You can see he just rushed that a little bit. Lost the focus, I think.
Parsons attacking. And here's Anderson from the arc. The shot is off. And Charlotte will go the other way with it. What a big possession right here.
No doubt about it, guys. The tension is palpable.
Uncovered. Count it! And tie game. That is a huge basket right there. There's 25 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Paul kicks to Anderson. Bargnani grabs the ball.
Well, he gets it in close, but you have to credit that stifling defense for forcing the miss.
Exactly, Greg. I mean, defense like that really increases the degree of difficulty on that shot by a large amount.
Last outing for Charlotte was a loss to Miami. Hill kicks to Bargnani. Got it!
Assistant, George Hill. The Hawks call timeout.
Atlanta calls timeout. They're behind by 2. 5 seconds left in the fourth. Seconds left in the fourth quarter. Paul goes in, and the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a three-point play.
You know, huge height advantage there, but because of the great body control, he's able to cancel it out.
Agreed. The body control.
What a shot!
I can't believe this. How in the world can you end the game on a shot like that?
Well, I think
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Welcome back, everybody. Ernie Johnson here along with Shaq and the Jet as we present our Jordan Player of the Game, George Hill. He had it going on all game long, so when it came down to one shot to win the game, well, it was no surprise that he took it or that it was a game winner.
He was dead on from the field tonight, guys. I'd call his performance economical because there was no wasted opportunities.
And that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Hope you enjoyed the show. From myself, Kenny Smith.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Early season's greetings, NBA fans. I'm Ernie Johnson. Thanks for joining us. Got Shaquille O'Neal here. Got Kenny the Jet Smith here for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Tonight, it'll be the Atlanta Hawks going up against the Charlotte Hornets at Time Warner Cable Arena. Checking out the Hornets, the game tonight marks their second of 4 meetings they will play this season, and they come into this one feeling pretty good after winning the last time they met. Already in this new year, we've seen several teams establish themselves as frontrunners. Check, how hard will it be for them to keep up the momentum?
Ernie, it's a long season. Injuries, trades, anything can happen. One more long. You just got to take care of your business. The rest takes care of itself.
Well, you know what? Every team does hit a rough patch in a long season. So how you respond is ultimately how you dictate your success.
Okay, you sound like a politician.
Live from Charlotte at the home of the Hornets, we're broadcasting from the Time Warner Cable Arena. Well, it was the Charlotte Hornets winning their last game against the Hawks in Atlanta. And that was a close call. They pulled it out with a win and just 2 points at that. But it wasn't easy.
I mean, no stress in that one. The game almost looked like a shoot-around for them. I mean, amazing at how well they shot the basketball.
And even more impressive, Greg, considering it was on the road. I mean, it's rare that you'd see a team get that hot away from home.
A look at Atlanta's opening lineup. Anderson is out there with Chandler Parsons. Then it's Chris Paul. Then there's Bradley Beal. And he gets it to go.
Good make to get things underway.
Yeah, and always a relief, I think, to get those first points out of the way and actually get that first sweat and that first bit of contact in the game, because it just settles you down a little bit.
And so the Charlotte Hornets get the first points of the ball game. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
The Hawks were fantastic last season. After the All-Star break, they did slip up a bit, struggled against teams over 500.
They lost the last 3 games of the regular season, Clark, and really just limped into the playoffs. Some of it might have just been fatigue.
Yeah, it could have been, and their play at the end of the season did leak into the playoffs, Kevin. I mean, you could see very quickly that they weren't the same team that looked so dominant during the regular season.
Now, here's Adams. 8 points his last outing. Fader on the way. Beal pulls it in. Looking at the last game for the Atlanta Hawks, it was a loss to Charlotte.
Yeah, their defense got sliced and diced in that game. They just weren't closing down on perimeter shooters, not nearly quick enough, and then they gave up their fair share of those point-blank shots on the interior as well.
Something was clearly amiss for them, Greg. I mean, to let an opponent shoot that high a percentage, you got to take a real long look in the mirror after a game like that.
Here's Middleton after the made shot from Chandler Parsons. Picked by Bargnani. Wiggins against Parsons. Hill has the open look. That falls. Nice feed that time from Wiggins.
How in the world did they let him get that wide open?
The drive by Paul. Wiggins with the block, and the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Wiggins. And Parsons kicks to Beal. That 3 off the mark. This is to Anderson. The Hawks working the ball around. To the middle. Here's Marjanovic.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
Good on the shot. Wiggins has got his first 2 points.
Well, I tell you, last season was a big one for the Hawks and Coach Budenholzer. Their dominant season won him multiple Coach of the Month titles, and eventually he won the Coach of the Year award.
Now here's Paul. 14 points from him the last game against Charlotte. Second shot opportunity. Kept alive. This one for 3. Again, the miss by Paul.
Kevin, just enough presence to bother that 3-point attempt there.
Yeah, but for a guy that shoots it as well as he does, I'd say that is an easy look.
Bargnani sets the screen for Hill. Back to Bargnani. But they recover it. Stolen by Anderson. Wiggins against Parsons. Pass to Beal. To the left wing. Paul for 3. Again, the miss by Paul. It was pretty obvious, I thought, Greg, that Budenholzer was the deserved Coach of the Year. I mean, Steve Kerr, there are a lot of good names you could put in there. But what he's done taking the Hawks to the top of the East, few saw that coming.
I agree with you. I mean, he has transformed this Hawks team over the past couple of years, has a wonderful team game. And, you know, obviously a lot of influence coming from Pop when he was with San Antonio, but it doesn't really matter who starts the break with how he runs the floor. He seems to always be the one who finishes it.
Yeah, he is so fun to watch and how he attacks the rim at full speed like that, man. It's something to behold the way that guy gets to the rim.
And the replay, of course, presented by Kia. What a play.
And when you've got a big man who can shoot from distance like that, what a huge advantage.
Middleton outside. There's the screen on the wing. Wiggins. Good. The assist goes to Hill. And that's now 6 points for Andrew Wiggins.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
Great ball movement. Well, guys, in the NBA, you learn things by doing them in game-time action. And Andrew Wiggins had plenty of time to learn on the job. He was second in the league in minutes played last season, only behind James Harden.
Lynn kicks to Scott. Lynn dishes to Scott. Clock at 6. Feeds it to Spates. The jump hook, that's good. Looking over the numbers again, Greg, Wiggins logged a ton of minutes as a rookie, over 36 minutes a game, Clark. That led all rookies in the NBA.
And how about leading everybody in the league in minutes played after the All-Star break, Kevin? Almost 40 minutes a game is what he averaged after the All-Star break. They are really doing a nice job establishing a presence inside early.
And watch, Clark, how the game plays out, because this is going to open things up on the perimeter. You know, maybe he's not one of the elite sharpshooters, but even still, that's not a shot that D can afford to give him.
The feed now to Cram. Over to the left wing. Wiggins outside. Launches it. Atlanta with the rebound.
They hold the early advantage on the glass.
Yeah, nothing major. Not a huge advantage, but certainly a good sign for them going forward.
Here's Wirtz looking for his first basket still in this one. He kicks to Wiggins. Three-pointer. He got it up that time, but it wouldn't.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Hornets.
And earlier, Chris Paul told us about the depth of their roster. So important for any team. When your starters feel that good about their second unit guys, that's a heck of a asset that a team can have. And if you've seen Chris Paul cheering from the bench, you know that it's very, very true.
And Kevin, that's the kind of team that's always been so much fun to play on. Everybody's really pulling for one another, no matter who's playing. Even in practice, with that kind of a team, you tend to have more fun.
Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. And let's quickly break down the game, guys, we've been watching from the Hornets.
Defense paying huge dividends for them through the first.
Excellent hustle, and you know the coach has to be pleased with that effort at the defensive end.
In a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. On the court for Atlanta, they've got Scott. Chris Paul is out there with Lou Williams. Then there's Maurice Spates, and it's Parsons in at the small forward position. Grab the pass to Wirtz. There's the screen. Pass to Adams. And Charlotte again with the bucket.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
10 straight points off assists. That's very impressive, and it also makes the game easy and fun to watch.
Paul outside. Spates sets a screen. Paul kicks to Parsons. On the wing, Williams. From 12 feet out, and the shot clock expires. 24-second violation. This is the list of last season's top shooters from the charity stripe. These guys were practically automatic. Fifth on the list, Chris Paul.
He was locked and loaded from the free throw line all season. Never suffered through any real lulls in that department.
Charlotte leading by 6.
And Charlotte had a lot of momentum going into last season off that playoff appearance. But they just stumbled out of the gates last season and spent the whole year playing catch-up. And, you know, obviously, there's some things out there he does not like and wants to talk it over.
Well, Greg, you've played, and you envision yourself as a coach as well. So, you know, sometimes to make some adjustments.
Hill kicks to Crab. Shot clock at 5. It's back to Hill for the 3. And Paul pulls it down.
And for the Hornets, they seemed to get back on track last January, but they faded Clark quickly after that. Were too far behind to make up room and get in the playoffs.
And, you know, they had a rash of injuries, Kevin, and that really did them in. All in all, it was a season that just didn't have any traction for them because of the injuries.
Hill against Paul. And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
Ooh, that's as forceful a finish as you're ever going to see out of this guy.
Well, gee, it adds now to their lead in spectacular fashion.
And, you know, that lead's only going to grow if they're not prepared to defend a little more staunchly than that.
Hornets leading by 4. And here is Hill. He's coming off a 10-point game against Atlanta.
And how about the extraordinary display of his passing in that game? He was making all the right decisions and had their offense humming.
Here's Marjanovic. Left side Anderson to the inside. The kick out to Williams. To the middle. Here's Marjanovic, and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
Yeah, easy call.
Yeah, you can hear the smack all the way over here where we are.
And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for Charlotte.
They've been making some really nice passes out there. Excellent passing. That could set the tone for the rest of the game.
Yeah, also something I like out of them so far, they're throwing their bodies around in the paint, and the physicality is taking its toll.
And the Hornets making a change here. Bargnani's checked in. The Hawks trailing. Now here is Augustine. Parsons on the wing. They set the pick. The Hawks need to get off a shot here. That doesn't go on the chance to tie. Hornets have gone 3 of 7 shooting the ball here in the second quarter. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line.
And, you know, the defense gets their money's worth on that foul, stopping the layup and not giving up the and one.
Charlotte shooting their first free throws of the game on this trip to the line. The first free throw is good. A big dip in performance here for the Hornets last year. In 2014, they were very tough to beat at home, and that was not the case in 2015.
Yeah, I mean, they struggled to string together those defensive runs at home. And in the end, that led to their less than stellar record.
Andrew Wiggins checked in for Ellen Crabb. Here's Beal. It's rebounded by Charlotte. They beat the Hawks during their last encounter in Atlanta.
I thought it was a great game. I love watching the back and forth, neck-and-neck action. Fans on both sides were entertained and got an exciting show. Talk about putting something extra on it. That dunk was way over the top.
Close game or not, Clark, you know, he's going to finish firm when he gets the space.
I'm startled that he would even try something like that at this stage of the game.
Wiggins outside. It's back to Hill. No good. And Atlanta will go the other way with it. Fast break here. Here come the Hawks. It's tipped and stolen by Wiggins.
cannot hit.
No other way to put it. Just a poor shooting performance for him, but luckily his teammates have picked up the slack. That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
Spates checked in for Atlanta. Charlotte has gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Here's the screen. It's Wiggins at the top of the key. And that one comes up a bit short.
The mechanics totally out of whack right now. He's lost his feel for the shot.
Yeah, he really has. I mean, just totally out of sync. I mean, you can just see it in the numbers. Nothing going down for him right now.
Zhang with the screen on Augustine to the paint. Lin with the steal. And now, here comes Augustine leading the break. Scott dishes to Spates. Beal against Wiggins. Beal the pass to Spates. And it's all evened up. Spates has got his second basket of the game.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dime-dropping delights is what I call it.
That's a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yeah, he was on the money, that's no doubt. Now the dish to Wiggins. With 4 seconds on the clock. No good on the layup. Beal. Shot is off. So the clock.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And in this completely jam-packed arena, we are glad to have you with us. Ernie Johnson with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. The first quarter for the Hornets was fairly even. The biggest lead for them during the period was 6. They couldn't hold on to the slim lead they had at the start of the second quarter and headed into the locker room. And that'll wrap up our halftime show. The third quarter set to go moments from now. We will be...
And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting here now. Andrew Wiggins really making a difference here.
Just a quality performance, and you know, we do expect to see that from him, and he's always setting the bar high for himself. And sometimes I think we just kind of get numb to how good this guy really is.
And Greg, you know how it was as the marked man when you were playing on great teams in your past. It's hard to perform when everybody's locked in on you. To be able to play like he has when you have a reputation of being the guy, that's impressive.
George Hill out there with Chris Middleton. Then it's Wiggins. Then it's Bargnani. And it's Adams in at the 5 spot. And that's the group for Steve Clifford as we begin the second half. And that one's good. Wiggins.
That's just run-of-the-mill for him. A typical day at the office. He's one of the more skilled offensive players out there.
A lot of comparisons have been made about Andrew Wiggins. Kobe Bryant, in fact, Clark went as far as to say that he sees a lot of himself in Wiggins as a player.
Ultimate compliment there. I mean, that's exactly what Kobe Bryant just gave him. Wiggins has the chance to reach that level, I think.
Good. The assist goes to Hill. And that's now 10 points for Andrew Wiggins.
Well, he knew how many inches he had over the guy. I mean, let's face it, good decision to just rise up and take the jump shot.
All up top, he's guarded by Hill. Wiggins with the block. Hill kicks to Wiggins. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Blatant contact. Straightforward call. Simple.
Talking about Kobe, seeing Wiggins as a young version of himself. The skill set Wiggins has is eerily similar to that of a young Kobe.
Williams is checked in for Atlanta.
For me, the one thing that set Kobe apart and made him a champion really was his work ethic. If Wiggins can improve and work like Kobe did, then like Kobe, the sky could be the limit.
Guys, close one here. No team getting a huge advantage.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, there have already been 5 lead changes, but nobody taking control of it.
Yeah, 2 good nail fights so far, guys. These sides match up really well.
And the Hornets call time here.
And, you know, the Hawks were great from beyond the arc, but it wasn't just one person. They did a great job of creating a space and really passing up good shots for great ones, and I think that's the mark of a true team.
Crabs checked in for Charlotte. Hill dishes to Wiggins. And again, the Hornets missing.
And listen, sometimes even the best of us are going to miss the easiest of opportunities.
And while we've got this moment here, now let's take a look at last season's leaders in converting turnovers into points. Number 5, the Hawks.
And this team, in terms of scoring off of turnovers, that became the identity. I mean, they really look to disrupt and cause problems defensively. And boy, do they take advantage on the other end.
They set the pick. And Parsons kicks to Paul. To the inside. Marjanovic. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Paul's got 3 assists now in this one. And for the Hawks, Korver led the way in three-point shooting for him. But as you were saying, their second best three-point percentage in the league was the result, Clark, and I know you're big on this, on their team offense.
Exactly. I mean, the real noteworthy stat on that area was almost 92% of their made threes were assisted on. Crisp ball movement and finding the open guy was really their mantra. And defensively, guys, they've lost something since halftime. I mean, they've given up open looks. They've got to buckle down and get some stops here. Play with some urgency.
Hill kicks to Crab. Shot's good.
Boy, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip. They've got a battle inside.
This game has been a battle, and maybe they're starting to just run out of gas a little bit.
Atlanta calls timeout.
You know, not many saw it coming last season with the Hawks. I mean, they just ran away with the Eastern Conference. It was the first time they took the East since 1994.
Charlotte making a switch here. Zhang's checked in. Spates checked in for the Hawks. Anderson kicks to Paul. Just 5 on the clock. Lets the 3 fly. Ryan Anderson good for 3. Anderson's got 7. And with the Hawks and the East, they just dominated the rest of the division. 39 of the Hawks' 60 regular season wins came in conference.
Yeah, and across the board, the Hawks statistically just dominated all Eastern opponents. They shot it better, played better defense, took better care of the ball. They are set up to be a factor in this conference for a long time.
The dive for the ball. Back to Williams. Spates sets a screen. The shot by Williams, no good. Hornets trail by 6. Guys, they're looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
Here's Atlanta now. Big stretch here going 10-2. Parsons for 3. Anderson passes to Williams. Paul kicks to Parsons. The kick out to Williams. Spates trying to break loose. And it's Williams. That time the assist from Parsons. And now it's a 9-point Hawks lead. The Hornets have gone 3 of 7 on field goal attempts here in the second half. Wiggins outside. Pick up by Hill. And Adams kicks to Crab. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face. Crab's got his second bucket of the game to go. Atlanta leading by 7. Paul dishes to Spates. From deep, Williams. The Hornets pull it in. Adams has got his 4th rebound in this one. For Charlotte, they've gone an even 50% from the floor here in the third quarter. 4 of 8, and the shot is good. 13 points for Andrew Wiggins.
I like the way he's not forcing anything, taking advantage of what the defense is giving. He's been a key contributor for them in this quarter.
Parsons against Wiggins. Ball outside. It's stolen by Adams. Fast break now for Charlotte. Hill leading the charge, and that one's good. And now just a 3-point Hawks lead.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't have it.
Wiggins kicks to Hill. Back to Wiggins. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line. He's made 1 and missed 1 so far in the game.
76% from the line a season ago.
Here's Spates, and lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. Atlanta shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
And just to mention, a season ago, they were very comfortable at the line, hitting about 78% of their free throws.
And you know, a lot of times, guys, in some of their performances last year, their free throw numbers helped them win games. Well, as far as the league's big men go, he's one of the very...
Ladies and gentlemen, your Hornets dance team.
Welcome back as we get rolling once more. The 4th quarter right ahead in what's been a very well-contested game. Charlotte trailing. On the court for Atlanta, we've got Jeremy Lin. Bradley Beal is out there with Scott. Then there's DJ Augustine. Huertas passes to Dang. Bargnani from long range. Atlanta with the rebound. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. The drive by Scott. The pass to Augustine. Nailed from three-point land. Augustine's got the first basket as we get going in the 4th for Atlanta. And the Hornets call time here. Hey, Greg, how about DJ Augustine on the roller coaster ride last season? Beginning in Detroit, ending up in a very creditable position with the Oklahoma City Thunder.
And a lot of that was because Jennings was so inconsistent for Stan Van Gundy last year, even so much so that he started starting Augustine, and this was just a small part of the turmoil for Detroit last season.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Well, Kevin, Steve Clifford was just going over the game plan with his team. They've been getting torched with all these shots from long range, and he simply said, we can't lose track of their shooters, guys. We're over-helping inside, and it's leaving them wide open. Can they make the adjustment, guys?
So back to DJ Augustine. It's the middle of last year, and he and Jennings are practically splitting time at the point. Then Jennings goes down with an Achilles injury, and it looks like Augustine will take over full-time duty. Nope, the Pistons trade Augustine to Oklahoma City for Reggie Jackson.
Grant kicks to Middleton, and they get it. Scott pulls it in.
Boy, with an open look like that, he is so gifted. Man, you've got to play better defense. Eventually, he's going to make you pay.
Yeah, you can see he's still in rhythm, even though he misses that one. Almost always deadly when he's that open. You know, one thing about the Augustine-Jackson trade last year, it didn't help either the Thunder or the Pistons make the playoffs. It's just so hard to integrate a new player into your system that far into the season, especially when that player is a point guard. So a wild ride for Augustine.
Just 5 to shoot, and it's Hill penetrating the 10-footer. Atlanta with the rebound. Paul outside. Passes it to Anderson. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. Hornets trail by 9. We're in the 4th quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. It's back to Hill. And he gets the shot to fall after coming off the pick.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
Paul kicks to Anderson. To the middle. Three-pointer. That's good. And the Hawks lead by 10.
You know, one aspect of their play today that's really been tight and far superior is their passing.
And that kind of flow can be elusive, but the great offenses have it, and that's just what they've shown here tonight.
It's back to Hill. A 3-ball. No good.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole, because he is just not there offensively.
And he gets it to go.
It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
And that's because the ball is looking for the best shot, and it's really paid off for them during the run. Chris Paul, guys, for the last decade, the best point guard in the NBA. Now, there's some new competition for that distinction, though, with Steph Curry breaking through to NBA stardom. And it's always exciting to watch these two go head-to-head.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Well, Kevin, Steve Clifford was just going over the game plan with his team. He said their plan was run their offense through Wiggins. Coach is calling on him to play a big role in the offense for the rest of this game, to really be one of the key guys for them down the stretch. Likely the final major changes to their game plan as they try to make a late comeback here in the fourth. Kevin, back to you.
All right, Doris, thank you very much. Here's Marjanovic. Adams defending. The jump hook. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. How would you compare Chris Paul and Steph Curry?
Well, Steph Curry is just an off-the-chart shooter. I think the best in the history of the game in overall shot-making and creativity as far as shooting goes. Paul is more of an orchestrator, a maestro supreme.
And the basket by Hill.
And that's almost automatic anytime he can get the ball in that position.
Ball against Hill. Stolen by Bargnani. And here we go. Wiggins heading to the hoop. And that one's good. Wiggins has got it back down to a single-digit deficit for the Hornets.
He's been much more effective in the second half than he was in the first.
Time called here. The Hawks decide to talk it over. They're in front by 8. There's 1:26 left in the fourth quarter. Wiggins against Parsons. Hit his leg. And the official saying it was kicked. A minute 20 left in the fourth quarter. And Paul gets it to go in.
Looks to me like they hit the refresh button here in the second half after shooting less than 40% from the field before the break.
But the defense allowed them to stay in it, and now with the offense looking rejuvenated, they've got to be feeling confident.
There's 1:17 left in the fourth quarter. Outside Hill. Here's Wiggins, and Charlotte again with the bucket.
Nice piece of work there. Get yourself a little space and pull the trigger.
Here's Beal, and 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Hawks.
Fantastic passing. We saw it in the first half, and it's carried over here in the second.
Well, it's been a super performance from beyond the arc, too. I mean, they've been raining in those threes.
And it's Hill penetrating, but they'll get another chance. Adams' shot is off.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
Well, you take a look at all of the stats, the team stats, that is, and that's one of the many areas that they've had the advantage. And as a result, they've got a big lead. Now, there's something for the top 10 highlight reel right there. A layup can be just as sweet and as pretty as a dunk sometimes.
Here's Paul. Soft touch off the glass. Paul's got the lead up to 12 now for Atlanta.
This is a serious game-clinching run they're on.
Yeah, I agree with you. Just not backing off here. I mean, they're looking to close this one out in style. What a time to have this kind of surge.
The clock now can just run out for the Hawks. Kicks it to Parsons. Anderson outside. Here's Marjanovic. It's rebounded by Charlotte. Outside Hill. Down low. Tries from 10. No good. And so Atlanta takes this one by a big margin. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time, GA, this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch time. Don't give them any chance to lift their team up at the finish.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. This is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for watching. And as the fans file out of the building, now time to head over to Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith for the postgame show.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Kevin, much appreciated. And now let's move on to our Jordan Player of the Game.
I can't imagine a player having a better night from the field than he had tonight. His shooting percentage was off the charts. He used every trick in the book to get those high percentage shots. He shot from every direction, and there was a little bit of luck here and there, but he was on fire.
Boom, boom, boom. That's right, Ernie. Instruments. This guy was instrumental tonight in making sure they avoided a second straight loss. They needed somebody to step up tonight, and he was their guy.
And that wraps things up, folks. Thanks for joining us. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the rest of the 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. Good night, everybody.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports, along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. I'm Ernie Johnson. Tonight, it'll be the Atlanta Hawks going up against the Miami Heat at American Airlines Arena. For Miami, they are hungry for a win here. Last season, they got swept by this team. 4 straight losses, something they haven't forgotten. And Chris Paul will be in action tonight, and no doubt he is one of the best in the game. There are a lot of great point guards in the league, but Shaq, is he still the most complete point guard, would you say?
I would say yes. He makes his teammates immensely better with his on-point passing. Ernie, he still showed us the last playoffs that he can still hit that clutch shot.
Yeah, I still say he's one of the best on-ball defenders in basketball. Hawks at his position. Great all-around guard.
And here we are in the Miami side. We're live, the home of the Miami Heat, American Airlines Arena in downtown Miami, Florida. Last outing for Atlanta, they won that game against the Charlotte Hornets.
Their percentage from long range in that game was off the charts. It seemed like anytime the fans got a little hostile, they just started to take it up a notch from beyond.
The bombs were really falling, weren't they? I mean, great shooting, especially when you consider it was on the road.
A look at Atlanta's opening lineup. They've got Chris Paul, Chandler Parsons out there with Ryan Anderson. Then there's Bradley Beal.
Before getting dinged up, Ryan Anderson was rolling. I mean, over the first few seasons of his career, improved in efficiency in all areas. Then he had the back injury, and last season his shooting percentages really went south.
And getting back to Ryan Anderson, in 2012, he won the NBA's Most Improved Player Award. Then, in the summer of that year, he landed an enormous contract in a sign and trade.
Yeah, and that's the good Ryan Anderson. If he can stay healthy, he's a tremendous asset, and he isn't just a shooter. He can get it done on the backboard as well.
Johnson attacking, goes up and lays it nice and easy.
Hard to get that one off with the size difference there. That makes it a tough individual matchup for him, especially down low.
Well, took on the big guys going in there and challenging them like he did. But, boy, that was a nice job.
Yeah, perfect release that time. I mean, I thought it might get blocked, but no.
Yeah, he was giving up a lot of size in that particular matchup, but showed the excellent ability to get off that shot despite the disadvantage in size.
Good little two-man action there, but they just can't get the shot to fall.
Yeah, but that was a beauty. Good-looking shot, well-executed play. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go back to it.
Now here's Paul. His last outing, he had 8 points.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on him.
And that one's good, Irving.
Really aggressive play there, taking it to the rack against the big fella.
You know, Greg, aggressiveness is really the only option when you're on the wrong side of the size equation.
Paul against Irving. The drive by Paul. Got a piece of it.